So I've been stuck in traffic now for 3 hours and I'm just not going anywhere. It's snowing outside, as you can see. I thought, why not do something productive with this time and make an episode of HArchery, all from my car. How exciting. So this week, inspired by my makeshift car studio, I thought we could talk about how best to make use of your time when you can't get down the range, either through timing of your club, perhaps it only shoots once or twice a week, or through bad weather, or perhaps work and family commitments. So this week I thought we could talk about planning. Planning is absolutely key. If you can work out when you can shoot and when you can do these other exercises and stick to that plan, then you'll be using your time really productively, and that will help you improve so quickly compared to if you just kind of wing it a little bit, okay? So get yourself a diary or a calendar or a spreadsheet and fill out the times when you have free time available to do archery. Next up on my list is fitness. You don't have to be absolutely incredibly, strong and kind of this amazing athlete, but having said that, often when I'm coaching, like a lot of the thing holding people back is their kind of strength to maintain a consistent shot. So if you can do some things like bow drills, or even just basic things like press-ups and getting a water bottle and just lifting your arm up, practicing getting this bow shoulder nice and low, that will help improve your archery a lot, even without shooting any arrows. My next tip, once you've done all your planning and you've worn yourself out doing press-ups, just watch lots of top archers. World Archery is a great resource for this on YouTube. Subscribe to their channel, whatever, but they've got loads of videos from all the World Cups, World Champs, Continental Champs, loads of stuff, the Asian Games. If you watch all the top archers shoot, you'll begin to pick out the things that they all do, and you might have your individual kind of take on kind of an archery technique, but there's things which you can't get away from, things like good execution and good timing as well. You begin to empathize with them and you'll begin to understand how you can use your muscles to kind of create a more consistent shot. Okay, my next tip, now you've done all your planning, you've done all your exercise, you've watched a stacked ton of videos of the pros doing it. The next thing you can do is, perhaps while you're at work, just picture yourself at the archery club shooting and try and feel as much as you can the shot and seeing the arrows go into the center of the target, and kind of just feeling what it feels like for your muscles to be doing the shot. And if it helps as well, it kind of ties in with the last one, which was watching the pro shooting. If you think about you shooting as they're shooting, it will help your kind of muscles and you kind of those neural connections, help them tie the two actions together to give you a super shot when you get down the archery club and finally shoot some arrows. Next tip for you, use that time to fill out an entry form for a competition, whether it's your first competition at a local club or it's the national series or national championships. By doing competitions, I think not only do you get to practice kind of what you've been, put into practice not only do you get to really test what you've been practicing down the club, but another big positive I see for doing competitions is you get to see people that are a similar level to you, and perhaps they've found some things that have helped them develop their archery.
So I've had another question in, and it's a good one. So please keep sending them in, because I like a question that makes me open it up and I read it and I go, haha. And this one's the same one. Indoor season. To do or not to do? Which I think is a fascinating question and probably has very personal answers. And for me, I've done both. Now that I look back, some of my most fun, entertaining and rewarding competitions were indoors. And when I used to do the indoor season, I used to do it fully embrace it. Big fat arrows, big fat feathers, big fat meat. And I'd shoot indoors 4 days a week. I would hammer that 18-meter feeder. And because of that, I had some very successful world-class scores, you know. Qualified first at the World Indoor Championships in 2005 and won a splattering of medals throughout my career. But that's not for everyone. And also, when I look back on it, do I think my indoor shooting hindered my outdoor shooting? Yes. You know, almost without any doubts. Practicing at 18 meters all the time and then going outside, they're different shots. You know, I think indoors you get rewarded for having a steady bow. Indoors you get rewarded for aiming well, very much like compound. Outdoors, you know, you get rewarded for doing a good, smooth, consistent shot. Much more like golf, you know, it's all about the swing, it's all about the movement. And I have, you know, I've had one day where I've been indoors and I've been consistently shooting 595s, like 3 in a row with my recurve, 18-meter feeders, and then I've gone outside and shot 70 meters because it was a lovely day. And that same style of shooting, I assure you, I was shooting the same type of shots. It was good for about 300 at 70 meters, i.e. not world class at all. So one of those, the indoor shooting was good enough to qualify first at a World Indoor Champs, and the outdoor shooting, frankly, was good enough to qualify number one, not even at my county champs. So there's a lot to be learned. So it is, try it for you. See what does work for you. You know, is one more important than you and the other? You know, if you're trying to get to the Olympics, obviously outdoors more important. But if you're just in it for the fun, then maybe the indoor season is just as important to you. So think about it, but don't think that, you know, they're the same. As a recurve archer, if you want to go halfway, shoot your carbon arrows. You know, don't go to the big alleys, because the big alleys take a lot of time to set up. You need to adjust your bow, and also it then makes switching between distances quite difficult. Maybe just go for carbon arrows and put on some big feathers or big fletchings just to straighten them up as quickly as possible, because that definitely will help you. So anyway, it's just have a think about it, but try it, see whether shooting indoors does hinder you or not. But there's a lot of great indoor shoots, you know. The biggest shoot outdoors, maybe the World Outdoor Championships, you can't go to that unless you're sent by your national team. Biggest shoot indoors, Las Vegas shoot, anyone can go to that. As long as you're a member of World Archery in some shape or form, you can just pay your fees and go to the biggest indoor shoot in the world and watch the world best archers win their $50,000. So, you know, the two seasons are very different, pros and cons to both. And I'm not sure I can answer that question. I can only say that for me, yeah, a lot of great memories from indoors, but it definitely hindered my outdoor work. So, decisions to be made. Doesn't mean that it's not a great question just because I can't give a clear answer. Sometimes they're the best ones.